everyone, happy Monday. It's Sarah here with Montana Science Center. I am here with another virtual preschool science series episode for us to do together today. So to start, I hope everyone is well and healthy, and I'm excited for what we have planned today. So to go over our lesson for the day, we are going to be reading a classic story that I'm sure many of you have already heard called The Three Little Pigs. There's so many variations on this story and lots of really fun book titles out there. This is the one I'm going to be reading today, and then we're going to have kind of an engineering challenge at the end. So let's get started. Okay, so as I said before, there are lots of different versions of this story. The one we're going to be reading today is The Three Little Pigs, illustrated by May Matsuoka. And it is retold by Kath Jewett. Once upon a time, there were three little pigs who lived in a cozy cottage on a hill. They loved to eat all the delicious food their mother made them every day. They ate so much that it wasn't long before the three little pigs had grown so big that there was no room for them in the cozy cottage anymore. "I'm sorry," said their mother one morning, "but it's time you made your own way in the world." She's kicking them out. So the very next day, the three little pigs left home. "Don't forget to watch out for the big bad wolf," called their mother as she waved goodbye. "He'll eat you for supper, so you need to build a big, fine, strong house as quickly as you can to keep him away." "Don't worry, Ma," they oinked. "We can look after ourselves." And the three little pigs trotted off down the hill, each taking a different path. It wasn't long before the first little pig met a farmer pulling a cart filled with straw. "Please, may I buy some straw to build a house?" asked the little pig. "Of course," replied the farmer, "but a straw house won't be very strong." But the little pig didn't listen. Soon he was busy stacking the bundles of straw for his new house. In no time at all, the house of straw was finished, and the little pig went inside for a nap. He had just shut his eyes when there was a knock at the door. Do you friends see what's out the window? Shadow of the wolf. It was the big, bad wolf, and he was hungry. Little pig, let me in," growled the wolf. "No," cried the pig, "not by the hair on my chinny chin chin." "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down," laughed the wolf. And that's just what he did. Huff, puff, whoosh! Meanwhile, the second little pig was walking along the road when he saw a woodcutter piling up sticks. "Please, may I buy some sticks?" he asked politely. "I want to build a house." "Of course," answered the woodcutter, "but a house made of sticks will soon fall down." But the second little pig wasn't listening. He was much too busy planning his new stick home. Soon the house was finished. The little pig had just sat down to rest when there was a knock at the door. It was the big, bad wolf. He was even hungrier now. Little pig, let me in," he growled. "No way, not by the hair on my chinny chin chin," cried the second little pig. "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down," cried the wolf. And that's exactly what he did. Huff, puff, whoosh! Meanwhile, the third little pig had met a builder. "Please, may I buy some of your bricks to build my house?" he asked. "Of course," replied the builder. "A fine, strong house of bricks will last forever." The third little pig took the builder's advice. He would build the strongest house in the land. Finally, after a hard day's work, the house was finished. It had 4 strong walls of brick, a tiled roof, a sturdy wooden floor, and a large fireplace with a chimney. The third little pig had just put a pot of turnips on the fire to boil when he saw his brothers running down the road, closely followed by the big bad wolf. "Quick!" cried the third little pig. "Hide in here!" The wolf, who was very hungry by now, banged on the sturdy front door. Little pigs, let me in," he growled, his tummy rumbling very loudly with hunger. "No way, not by the hairs on her chinny chins," cried the three little pigs. "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down," laughed the wolf. There's his eyes peeping through the hole in the door. So he huffed, and he puffed, and he puffed, and he huffed. But the brick house stood firm. The wolf was furious. He climbed up onto the roof and shouted down the chimney, "If I can't blow your house down, I'll come down the chimney and gobble you all up." The big bad wolf jumped and landed with a huge splash in the pot of boiling water on the fire below. He leaped up with a scream and ran out of the house, never to be seen again. And the three little pigs lived happily ever after in the house made of bricks. The end. So like I said, today we're going to be doing a little bit of a design challenge for our STEM activity today. Kind of focuses on engineering and building. So we're going to make 3 different kinds of houses, like the 3 houses the pigs made. So for our first house, we're going to be using toothpicks to represent straw. If you have access to straw, by all means, try regular straw. To represent the sticks, we will be engineering the second house out of popsicle sticks. If you want to gather sticks on a walk that you're taking, by all means, gather sticks. And last but not least, for the third house, made of brick, we will be using magnetiles. So for this challenge, some things to kind of work through as you're making the 3 different houses, starting with the toothpicks or the straw. Think about how sturdy the material is. Do they seem strong? Where do they seem the strongest? How would you build a house? Maybe thinking about 4 walls and then the roof on top of that. And then as you move to the popsicle sticks, again, the same thing. How sturdy is this material? How easily would it be able to be blown over? You could test these houses at the end of the experiment by placing them in front of a fan. Or if you don't have a fan, you could even just try to knock them over by blowing and pretending you're the big bad wolf and trying to blow them over with your breath. So I'm going to construct my houses as an example, and I'll show you what I've done, but by all means, you can get very creative with this, and you could even draw a blueprint or a map of how you want your houses to look. So you don't have to make them look like mine. Mine are just an example for what you could do. Here we go. Okay, so here is what I have made. To start, I have the first house made of straw or toothpicks. I didn't adhere any of these together with glue, but if you have that accessible at home and would like to try securing your materials together with glue or tape, by all means try that out. Please experiment. If I were to place this in front of a fan or even pretend I was a big bad wolf and blow on it, my guess is that those would blow away. They're not super sturdy and they're small. Next, for house number 2, the house made of sticks, I have popsicle sticks that I've used, and again, they're not secured together with glue, but they're a little bit sturdier than the toothpicks just because of their size and density. Again, if you want to try a different method of building this is just an example. You don't have to build your houses. And last but not least, I have the house made of brick or the magnetiles, which are secured together by the magnets, keeping all of the blocks together. So there you have it. Those are my 3 houses. If you would like to send us a photo of your finished houses, we would love to see it. We love hearing from you all as you do our virtual programs from home. And until then, until we can see you next, stay well. All right, see you later.